Hi everyone. So today we're going to go over how to model a weeping tile. And in this project I've isolated our foundation and footings. And I'm just going to go over, I guess, a couple methods on how I approach this. So for me, I think the easiest way to actually start is with model lines. And model lines just kind of create some really nice references for us to draw our weeping tile. So I'm going to change our placement level to bottom of footing. This is something we've kind of set up in our template. And I'm going to go around, let me see if I can do this. So let's create an offset of 1'6". And I'm going to hover over the middle of the wall. I'm just going to click the white space there. And I'm going to just hit tab and then I'm going to click. Um, and it looks like it wants to put it on the inside. So let's just do this again and see if it'll put it on the outside. There we go, on the outside. So it's going to delete our inside line. And so now we have this kind of red line that goes around the outside. So over here, we've got some piers that come down. And so I'm just going to do this again, 1'6", and we'll do it kind of around our center line. And it looks like these ones are a little bit bigger, so I might need to do 2 actually. So let's do 2 feet. And we'll just go off of here, and I'm just going to use the break line and just break this line um, here, so we have some pieces, and just finish this connection of this red line, and we'll just go back and delete those first ones we created. And these probably don't need to be that far out, so let's move these in maybe a foot. Yeah, that's better. I'll just delete these 2 reference planes, or these 2 lines. So I just like having these model lines because it simplifies our drawing. So we're going to go to our systems here, and we're going to go to our pipe. And the first thing you're going to see once you start drawing is now we can actually click on this. If you're having issues clicking on something, you can make sure you change the reference plane to be the same level as those model lines. So let's do that. And so now the first thing we're going to start to see, we draw our first pipe fine, but when we go to draw our second, it's kind of giving us this kind of no little icon there. And this is because we don't have any any routing preferences set up. So let's figure out how to do that. So routing preferences are set up under Edit Type, and just bring this in from another screen here, and we have routing preferences. And so under routing preferences, we need to actually have a category for all these different elements. So I have a little bit of a trick when it comes to reference for routing preferences, and I mean, it's one of those things where there often is a template or a place that has things and information that we need. So let's go in here. We're going to go to New Project, and we're going to go to, actually, before we go to Browse, let's check this. Let's go to Browse, and we're going to actually load in a plumbing template. Do we have a plumbing? Let's load in a plumbing template here, and let's click OK. And so this is kind of a cool technique where we can actually just grab a pipe that's already within the plumbing template, and let's just go to our systems again, and we're just going to draw a pipe for a second. And you'll notice now when we draw this pipe, it'll allow us to make that right angle, and it places that connection. So what I like to do is we'll grab this pipe here, and you'll notice there's 2 pipes. We have a PVC and a standard. So let's just copy this over, and we're going to grab both of those pipes. So we're going to change this one to be PVC, and the other one will be the standard. And so we're going to select both these pipes. We're going to go to our Modify tab. We're going to copy them, and we're going to go back to our 3D view that we were in, and we're just going to paste these in. and it's going to bring in those routing preferences for us, and it's honestly going to save us a ton of time. So now that we have these in here, we can delete them. And let's go back to our pipe, and we're going to change our type to be the PVC. And now we can start to go around here, and it's instantly model this pipe out. And the last part here is obviously just a little bit of tedious work. And then once we're done this, we can delete our model lines if need be, or we can keep them. So we're almost there. A lot of jogs on this one. And we're just going to click on all these corners. And our last one there. So now we have a fully connected pipe all the way around. Obviously, if this was if we were to model this completely accurately, we'd want these pipes to divert to a location. We're not going to worry about that for modeling purposes. We just want to use this as a technique to kind of show the pipe in our model. So let's pull out a section somewhere. So let me just grab a building section, and let's drop our constraints down a little bit so we can see. Now you can see we have our pipe in here, and the only problem is now our pipe is actually below because it was modeling based on the center. So let's go back to our 3D view, and we're gonna tab and select all these pipes, and we're gonna change our middle elevation, and I'm gonna make it 4 inches just because we want it to be a little bit above the ground per se. So let's go back to our other view that we had there. Now you can see our pipe is in its proper location, and it certainly just helps kind of take away a step of our modeling, and makes it a little bit easier for us. So a couple other things just to kind of mention here quickly is, we obviously have this pipe, so let's grab our model lines. We can delete those now. Revit also has this thing called parallel pipes, and we could add a parallel pipe around this whole pipe. So if we wanted to have a double weeping tile, we can have that set up like that. So pretty simple to create a double weeping tile. It's not completely uncommon on a lot of projects. One thing that we sometimes see, and I'm just going to fill out that hole there. One thing that often happens is we might have one solid weeping tile, and we would actually not use that for weeping. We'd actually just use that for downspout locations. Or another thing that we often could do is take one of these weeping tiles and raise it up. So we could make this 4 feet. Let's make this 4 feet up. And so, that way that weeping tile is just helping collect bit more elevated groundwater and diverting that away quicker so it doesn't get as far down on our foundation. So anyways, a few little techniques on modeling weeping tile. Hopefully this helps, and hopefully it helps to show you how to bring these items in and make sure those routing preferences are working. And this is kind of a similar technique we can actually use for ductwork as well. So great little tidbit there.